We are streaming.
Are we though?
Okay. We are. It is just a couple seconds behind.
It's behind us.
Okay, there we go. We are good now.
You're welcome. We are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to session 6. Wow. Look, I was sure of it. I had to just check for confirmation, but I was fairly sure. Today was session 6 of ClockWork. Any announcements for us, Alan?
Still trying to figure out how to upload videos onto not Twitch.
YouTube?
Not
No.
YouTube.
Spotify.
Spotify. Still trying to figure that out. It didn't let me do it last time. So I might have to actually go into Spotify and do it. I'm not entirely sure.
Let's hope.
I will be looking that up.
When you say videos, you mean audio, right?
No. So they just upgraded Spotify to where you can actually watch videos on Spotify now.
Really?
Really?
Because everybody wants to be like YouTube.
Right? Everybody's trying to be like YouTube and Twitch and all of that. So, yeah, still trying to figure that out. Other than that, there aren't any announcements that I can think of, besides that Bella is not able to join us today.
Yep, she's sick. Again. Poor girl has no immune system at all. I wish she was here, though.
Yes, because I had plans for her. I will just
she's no point still here.
I will just scratch them out.
No, you can go ahead with them, probably.
She comes back. Why am I in a box? You weren't here last session. So.
Why am I taken apart and in a box?
Kelly,
Anyways.
you'll have to let us know if Bella gets mad at us.
This
I
box?
can't access the chat.
This box says it's being shipped to.
Oh,
Shipped to Madagascar.
It's actually
No,
shipped
no.
to Africa.
Shipped to Africa, that's what it was.
Right.
That's what it was. You're right.
Is everyone here prepared physically, mentally, emotionally?
No.
Physically, mentally, not emotionally. I am not ready for this.
Well then, let's begin. Last we left off, your entire party was walking through the city,
Except
making their way
Trick.
towards, except Trick, who was sticking with his lovely mentor. We all love him.
Was it his mentor? I thought it was just his buddy.
No, it was
Mentor,
just my
buddy,
My
friend.
mentor died. It's the guy that took over his shop.
Yeah, he mentored you for like a tiny bit of time. Either way, staying at the shop, while the other 3 are going for Sovereign Hall. Look into that guard job, I think it was.
Hopefully they're just going to go to Sovereign Hall, go to bed, and come get me.
So, you guys are now standing before Sovereign Hall. Marketplace is a bit sparser than normal. Seems business gets a bit sparser during the afternoon. Should be about, I think last I said was like 2, 3 in the afternoon.
Something like that.
Today is the 26th of Zoof, Hepna, or basically Tuesday. So,
If there is 8 days in the
everything's in your hands.
While
That's what
they're
I'm
doing
scared
this,
of.
I'm going to be trying to make another bag of holding so that low ring isn't.
Okay. So when you first made your bag of holding, was that with an infusion or?
Yeah, it was
Oh, that's just a simple thing for you.
well, I just
It
did
happens
switch
at the end of a long rest.
Yep, just
Right.
taking a long rest. You're sleeping there for the night, probably.
I'll be doing other things. But
Alright. Revak, Pipe, you 2, along with Point, standing outside the doors.
What's your brilliant plan here?
I will hand Ravak a piece of paper. Quickly, write down the address to the warehouse. Torkin Deep Breast and Nithrali Ash Cloak.
Now, just for clarification for me, which warehouse are we talking about? The one you got it at before, the one you...
The one we got the address for at the one we were guarding.
Ah.
That we think is the address for the one we're supposed to hijack.
you're here, I'm just.
This is my brilliant plan. So,
Okay, let me just make a quick note of something.
So, He writes that down because I cannot lie to save my life. So I have to be honest about everything I say. Okay, here's the game plan. Point, I'm not sure what you're going to do. B point. That's what you do.
Right.
Ravak, I need you to figure out anything about, I don't know, guards for this upcoming event, or anything about the two people in question. I will talk to a different person. I will walk in a couple minutes after, and I will inquire about this paper that somebody handed to me after I inquired of a job. And I will ask about these people and this warehouse. And that is how I will give my information.
I see. So I'm handing you the paper.
Yes, you are someone random that I ask for information about a job. Since I've never been here, I can play it as naive.
I see. I will proceed to enter the building.
You walk up, there's a couple of guards.
I thought
look
it was
at
a
you,
brilliant
they open
plan.
the doors for you. Inside is fairly small. Just a basic 10 by 10 room, different doors going different places, and a main desk with a big shelf behind it covered in papers, scrolls, books. Female gnome sitting at the desk looks up to you. Right, how can I help you?
Yes, I was wondering about the event I keep hearing about on the street. I haven't gotten much information. I just have heard people talking. I was wondering if I could learn anything more about it here.
Ah, the Artificers Festival. You must be new to town.
Yes, just came in this week.
Well, let me pull up the official documentation, but I think I have a flyer here, but the festival should be taking place on, dang it, where did I leave the calendar? There you are, right in front of my nose. It'll be taking place on the 29th to the 31st of Zoof. Basically, she explains it for you. Basically it's a place artificers show off their stuff. Games, parties, events. Biggest event is on the 31st where basically it's an exposition. Artificers show off their greatest stuff, gets ranked, it's a great way to get exposure, you can get hired, sponsored, things like that.
New plan.
Anything else?
I think there was a job looking for guards for the event or something.
Do you have the waiver?
No.
That's probably not the right word. We're gonna ignore that.
I don't have the,
You mean the job posting?
I do not have the flyer on me, but I saw it at the guild.
Do you remember what the job was for?
I just remember mentioning something about guard duty. I was wondering if it was for this event or just something else. I think it said report to Sovereign Hall if interested.
Of course. Just give me a moment. She picks up a sending stone off her desk. Catherine, if you would be so kind as to check all guard postings, job postings for Sovereign Hall. Anything else? I'll be with you in a moment.
No, that should be all. I'll
It's about this
Just
time
wait
when Mr.
here.
Pike walks in.
Yes, sir. I can be with you in a moment. Finished?
Okay.
yes, that is all I needed to know.
Right. Right, sir. What can I do for you?
Now, is this Sovereign Hall?
Yes, it is.
Brilliant! I'm not as lost as I thought. So, I just rolled into town not too long ago. And, I've been asking around about, work. And, a nice fellow handed me this paper with this address that I might check out, but being only here for a day or so, I have no idea where it is. And then a couple contacts that I might be able to ask. And I'll hand her
Can I see the paper?
paper.
And to clarify, paper has Torkin Deeprest's name on it.
Torkin
the
Deeprest.
address for the warehouse that you're thinking about.
Yes.
And that's it.
And Nithrali Ashcloak. Okay.
She just
Okay.
like picks up one of the things. We have them.
Security, can you come in here, please? I have an idiot to arrest. Where did you get this?
I just asked somebody on the street, and they said to look at Sovereign Hall. I found the biggest building, assumed this is it, and walked in. Literally.
Okay, just at this point, a human woman walks into the room from the door right behind the shelf.
Not what we're looking for.
Here you go, Ren. Here you go, you fella. It's the reports you wanted. Thank you, Catherine. If you could cross-reference this for me, please. She hands her the paper. If you'll give me a moment, sir. Sir,
Ah, yes.
here are the job postings.
Thank you.
It's a very thick piece of paper. Lots of papers.
I will proceed to start looking through them. As seems to be my job in the party now.
She joins
Paperwork.
back.
No, you give them to point to look.
No, she'd like eat them.
True. Well,
These do not crunch satisfactorily.
Starts tearing them
These do
for
not meet.
Right.
stimulation.
At this point, the gnome that you know as you fella now looks to you, Mr. Pipes. Anything else I can do for you, sir?
Nope, just trying to find
Right. If you can sit
job.
on the chairs next to that gentleman over there, we'll be with you in a moment.
Yes, I
you
can do
wouldn't happen to have a bed back there, would you?
Let's see, you falla.
Off a cliff.
And anything I can help you with? You? Point just looks at her, shakes her head, and just goes and sits down next to Pipe. Right, so as you're going through the paperwork, it is a lot of outdated stuff.
I'll set those ones off to the side.
File
Monster
by date.
slayings, postings for joining the Order Halcom, their local police force.
Yeah.
So looking for researchers in chemistry, alchemy, elemental binding, couple in just basic mechanics. Just this kind of stuff over and over and over as you keep going through it. About halfway through, you find a posting similar to what you found before, asking for a simple job duty. Who's been posted by someone by the name of Safviel. Just asking for full-time dedicated bodyguards. This one's about a year old.
Not quite what I'm looking for.
Ma'am, here you go. Cool. Sir?
Yes.
Want anyone shoot?
I also had another question. Why is it called Sovereign Home?
Because this is where all the sovereigns work.
That makes sense.
Anyways, here you are.
Thank you. She giving me back the paper or different paper?
Same paper, job and a job listing. Very similar to the one you found in the guild hall earlier. Again, being asked by one by the name of Safviel, researcher looking for a guard full-time guards, contracted.
Nice.
Honestly, didn't know Safviel was getting that much. What's the word? Was getting much street presence nowadays. Most of her guards tend to leave early, and not many have good things to say.
Do you know much about Safviel? Where I might be able to find her?
Not a lot. She tends to keep posting job reviews. Yeah, job postings. My brain today.
Job reviews.
She keeps putting out flyers for jobs.
Her job reviews.
Don't
are
know
very
her
low.
personally. She's in the elemental research department.
Ooh. I don't know anything about it, but I'm very curious about that.
Yes, if you're interested, we can get you a clearance card for the lab and send you on your way.
Perfect. I would definitely check this out.
Yeah, what are you up to, Revok?
Do I find anything around guarding the event? Or anything of that sort?
Yeah, near the back. Seems to be most of the recent stuff.
Of course it is.
Just a couple. Just a couple. Guard detail for judges. Guard detail for
5
certain
hours
areas. If you wanted to, you could get a job.
I don't.
So is there an address on the paper?
Yep, same one you had.
I am brilliant.
I'll stand up and hand her back the stack of papers and be like, thank you for your help. Just so you know, most of those are outdated. And with that, I'll walk out.
Are you still in the building? Catherine, take these away.
Question.
And sort them appropriately, please. Yes, sir. Sorry. Ma'am. Sorry.
You said sovereigns. Where I'm from, there's a. Wait a minute. What is it called?
Samaris?
Sumeris. Oh, there's an empire. Emperor. How many sovereigns do you have?
10.
How many people does it take to run a city? Is it just a
Country.
city? Oh, it's the country. This is the capital?
Yes. Yes, it is.
I need to do more research. Do you guys have a library in the city somewhere that I might be able to do some research?
Yes. She hands you a small card. Here's the address for it.
You
If
guys
ever
are
get
very
lost-
efficient.
If you ever get lost, you can ask anybody. I'm sure they can tell you where it is.
Thank you.
The lady's thought process, my IQ's just dropping the longer I stay.
Now, will that be all, Mr.
Cezalos.
Cezalos? Is that all I can help you with, or are you gonna keep
No.
dragging down my work?
That is it. And I will walk out. Come point, let us leave.
Follows you out. So,
I
great job, everybody. You went through that without dying.
Sometimes I enjoy playing blonde just so that I can get it out of my system so nobody else can see it in real life.
Okay.
But that worked way better than I was hoping.
Are you done making a fool of yourself?
When you're always a fool, you don't make a fool of yourself. You just are. But yes, we can go back.
That was the least intelligent thing I have ever heard someone say.
Agreed.
Well, never mind.
So
It's been a very long day. And I'm still on a little bit of a high from finding all of this good stuff.
So you want to follow the address?
Did somebody
It's
put
late
something in your
afternoon.
pipe?
About 3 o'clock.
Oh, Ryvak, what do you know about elemental binding?
I'm afraid very little. My focus was not on much of the crafting side of, well, besides crafting cannons in college. I was only interested in learning how to defend boats.
Well then, I think we need to learn a little more. I've got the address to the library.
Sounds good.
I've also got a key card to the warehouse in question. I'm not gonna say that with people walking around.
Well then, let's go.
The key card to the bathroom.
I would say going to the library and then heading that direction after we've had time to rest might be the best option.
Don't forget to pick me up.
Yes.
And having Trick along might help.
I do know a bit about
Probably.
elemental stuff, seeing as my master did.
So, library, and then lay our heads down.
Sure, if that's what you must do to fall asleep.
He just, he's like, I can sleep standing up on one leg.
Not quite that tricky.
Why did you pass me?
I'm Mr. Pipe, I'm not Trick.
No, I'm not that tricky.
I think I already marked the library on this thing.
You did?
Think so.
It was in the
Pretty sure it's that dot right there.
No, that was a warehouses are over here. Yes, I think it is that dot. Yes. I don't know what else that dot would be.
Breeze home.
Oh, that's on the opposite side of the map. So you guys heading to the library?
Yes.
Warehouse.
It's an unnamed dot
Breeze home.
in Sovereign District.
Oh, over there. It's not too far.
You read my mind.
Wasn't that merchant's or the
No, he's over. The
Alchemist?
apothecary's over here.
Sorry,
Near the quarry ring.
I understand.
Then once we get back to the Breeze home, we can discuss some minor plans. Then we can catch Trick up. So I guess we'll head to the library.
Okay. It's not
Like-
too far.
Yeah, it's
Right
right,
there.
there.
That one? Yes, that one. Not that one. That one.
Follow the main road up. Take a couple smaller streets, and you're there.
Is it a large building?
Medium sized.
Less books to work through.
You go on in. It's a classic library. There's a small desk cornered next to the door with some windows. Rest is just books. Shelves and shelves of books. A whole second floor full of books.
I will go up to the desk. I'm sure you have some kind of organizational here, and I don't feel like wandering. I just came into town, and I've haven't been received too kindly when asking about the government workings here. Do you have a book on the sovereigns, or how the government works, how the city works, how elemental binding works?
1 second, just need to make a note.
Make a
He
note.
asked about the sovereigns again.
Right. Appear to be a middle-aged male gnome. Answers you. Oh, yes, of course. So you wanted sovereigns, elemental binding, government. So you probably want to look in the history section, the research section, and probably go through the law section.
You just gestured to the library. Do you
Yes.
have any specific books?
Oh, of course. I think I have a couple I can show you.
That would be much preferred.
Let me look them up.
NM, you run the front desk for me for a second. I gotta go. Got it, boss.
I'm going to just watch point like a hawk.
She doesn't seem that interested.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
I'm worried about. She
I don't
will
want-
become interested.
I don't want her tearing pages out of the books.
This page is irrelevant. This page
She
is
just walks up. She just walks up to a random shelf. She pulls out a book. She opens it, flips through it a couple times, closes it, puts it back, and just continues on like this. Looks like she's trying to find something.
She
She's just
finds the
bored.
information you're looking for while you're waiting
Okay.
for the guy.
If you'll follow me, first the history section's on our second floor with the law section.
Okay.
Shelf, really.
Floor for them.
It's just.
Did you say halfling?
No.
Gnome.
Oh,
Shorter than a halfling.
So, The second shelf would be basically a new floor.
Okay, just come back
You're
here.
terrible.
This takes you through the main library, about a good 50 feet in to the back wall. If you'll stand right next to me on this platform here.
Okay.
All right, and he pulls a lever. You hear the sound of steam going off as the platform beneath you raises itself all the way up.
Ow!
You
Right
remember
back.
that if you're are you on the platform with them or
No, just
right?
just
You just see
watching.
the platform raise up. Underneath it is a long, seems to be telescopical pole with a couple other supports. Steam-based hydraulic system. Right, just over here on the left.
Okay.
And these 3 shelves here are all with history. A lot of history to go through in the last 300 years.
I just need the last history book read.
So what do you want? Ancient history, recent history?
As recent as possible.
Okay, so we'll probably want... no, not you, you're bored.
I try.
He's read all of them.
Okay, we'll want... I have 3 volumes here for you. First, rather general, recent histories. Love him. Ulfric does a great job of doing overgeneralization, help newcomers. We have something a bit more on the advanced stage of recent developments in the government, politics and whatnot.
Are these like
we have
big
this
books?
one. The first one he hands you is about only the 8th thick. Second one's thinner, just a small profile.
Okay.
And this one.
I'm picturing government books where it's like,
handing him
this
atlases.
is general.
And this one is a biography of one of the former. Big book, about half the size of a big Webster dictionary. It's a autobiography of one of the last sovereigns of law and his experience in the government.
Okay.
Right, now follow me over here. You wanted what next? Yes, binding. You wanted to learn more about elements of binding.
That is very fascinating. And another thing just popped in my head. What the heck is orichalcum?
Oh, that. Here, walk with me.
I will. I will walk very slowly so that I do not squish him. With my very large foot.
He's taller than
More
me.
alchemy. There's a rare mineral that's only found here in the south of Esmir.
Apparently.
Espera, that's the country.
I was like, this is Esmir.
Rare mineral, tough as adamantium. A bit easier to find though.
Interesting.
Really tough to work with.
Yes, I've seen it a couple times, but not familiar at all.
Now, right, so while we're at it, he just grabs a book off the shelf as you're walking by. Here's a brief overview of minerals. You might find something in there.
Fairly familiar with it.
Here we go. It takes you to a fairly sparse shelf. There's not a lot there. Sorry, there's... most of the schools keep checking out the more important books. We're mainly copying them off. We
Basics.
don't have a lot of them.
I
but-
literally need basics.
No, most of those are gone.
Fine, I will take the major one.
We have
advanced one.
we have a brief history of elemental binding, written by one Urian Lalwatil.
Sure.
Haven't heard from him in a long time.
Sure. This should suffice. This is a lot of reading.
And now you wanted.
This will suffice. This is good. If I need more, I will be sure to come back.
Okay, we got you history, and you thought you wanted some on the sovereigns.
Oh, does
Yeah.
the history not have the Yes, I need one on the sovereigns.
Okay, probably over here.
This doesn't have.
What
anything
kind
else
of
on it.
history book does not have?
So, what do you want to know about what sovereigns? Do you want just the basic structure? Do you
just
want
need
to know
the
about them
basic-
personally?
basic structure and who does what and
Okay, then we're
whatnot.
going to need you to. Alright, here we go. Big law books. Volumes 1 through 4. Help me out of here a little.
Pick it up.
You have a decent sized stack of books in your hands.
Yes, I do.
About 100 pounds worth of books.
Here we go. Basic
I've got a
overview
strength of plus one.
basic overview of the legal system, sovereigns, their
your,
duties,
max carry
how they're
weight?
elected, retiring, basically everything really you need to know if you look hard enough.
Awesome. Are there glossaries in here so I can skim through?
Oh, near the back and some of them.
Thank you.
We have pre-glossary.
Anything else I can help you with?
Do I have to stay here and study them?
If you want to read them for free. Otherwise, you can just check them out at the front desk.
For a price of...
How much does that cost?
Well, just about a couple silver per book. Actually, looking at what you've got here, about say 7 silver, 5 copper.
Yes. When do I have to bring them back?
Within the next 3 days. I assumed you wanted the cheapest option.
Yep, that works. That works. Yeah, I'll just hand him a gold.
Oh, wait,
And I
excuse
will
me?
put
He
that all in
puts it
my
into a
magic
pouch.
bag
And he
with
starts fingering
the
for
fancy
some
schmancy
change.
thingy, so that
Okay.
they see that
Here you
I'm
go.
reading.
You change that?
Thank you. How much was that?
2 silver and 5 copper.
2 silver, 1. 5 copper?
5
2, 5. I am rich, guys. I've got 7 more pieces
Right.
than I came in with.
While all this is happening, Redback, what have you been doing?
You have way more than I do.
It stopped Point from eating pages twice.
After about
Depends-
5 minutes, Point actually comes to a book that she seems fairly interested in. She hasn't put it down yet.
What section are we in?
Artificing.
Ah, classic.
As I'm about to walk out, do you have any books on alchemy?
Of course, that'll be on my first floor.
Good.
Ready?
Yes.
Right. It'd be next to them. If you'll excuse me a second. Point looks down
Yes,
at him and just
excuse me.
steps,
It's
goes back to her book, but steps 1 step to the right. Oh, thank you. And here you go.
Half a step.
No, were you
Small
thinking of
person.
ingredients, reagents, combination recipes, theory?
Nah, recipes, preferably.
Oh, well then, here you go.
Okay.
Okay, tiny volume.
Just a small little one.
Tiny volume. And potions, acids, and a bunch of other things you've probably never heard of. That's its legit title.
Oh! I was like, How much for this one?
That one, just a couple copper.
Okay. I'll hand him back 2 coppers.
Back with the rest of them. Now, if you'll just let me take those for a second. If you'll take those to the front desk with me, we gotta check them.
Okay. So I'll bring one to the front desk.
Basic library, like opens, there's a
Yeah.
card and cover, writes down who has it, what time it should be back, checked out date. Go, 5 minutes, goes through all the books. Here you go.
I give him the name Mr. Pipe.
No.
Alright, Mr. Pipe. There you are, you all checked out. Anything I can help you two find and your friend over there?
No. I don't think so. I think Mr. Pipe has enough reading for all of us.
For all this.
Point's still at her book.
She might want that book.
Yes. Come, Point. Let's check it out.
Looks up at you, goes back to her book, but is following you.
Oops.
How much for that one?
No, that is... didn't think that they'd be interested in that. Basic mechanisms and metalwork and metallurgy. Couple copper.
So how much was it all in all? I was looking at the wrong character sheet.
Along with the last book you put in, it was 7 silver, 7 copper.
I handed him 8 silver.
You already paid for the other first bit.
I was looking at the wrong character sheet.
He doesn't have gold.
I don't actually have any gold.
Okay, so you only got 5 copper back. 3 copper back.
Okay. Because I was looking at it, I was like, why do I have 60 gold? I just spent it all. That makes sense.
Alright, I'll hand him 2 copper for Hoyt's book and then start leaving.
She's still reading.
She actually closes the book up, and as you're leaving, she stuffs it in her chest cavity, closing it up.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Well then.
Stuff's in her chest cavity. Uploading.
Interesting.
That's fair.
Okay. We can head back now. Unless there's anything else you need.
Nope.
Okay.
Apparently we had a lot of reading.
I would like to
Hey,
ask
it's
my friend if
all
he
in the
knows.
name of research. It will help us.
I would
don't
like to ask
know
my friend a few questions while they're doing it.
Okay, so while they're doing that, if I remember correctly, his name is... Dal. Yes, Vic? He's
Hi.
starting to close up
So
the
you-
shop.
I'm helping him close up kind of a thing, just talking. So, you remember what happened to my mentor and all of that fun stuff. Have you heard any updates on Torkin Dudebreast in regards to what he's doing? I've been asked to do a job that
Talking.
has a little bit to do with it.
He's starting to become a bit more reclusive. Nowhere near as many public appearances as he did. Speeches have gone down. Thank my ears. You can only hear so much dwarf talk for a day. Could go on for hours and hours. Sorry, I'm rambling again. But anyways, he seems to be very excited about this project he intends to unveil at the Artificer Festival.
Has he given any hints on what it is?
No, they'll only be
It's,
big and it'll change. Oh, you know, the basics. Be big and change the way we think about binding and its many energy sources. You know, that sort of thing.
Has he been working with a guy named Nithroli Ashcloak on this?
That's a woman.
Whatever.
That's
I don't care about genders.
Okay. Nope, he and Nethrali have had their differences, as ever.
Oh, so they're
Anyway, why are you interested in this?
just still trying to track down.
I mean, I can understand the apprehension. He really liked the last Sovereign of Magic.
Yeah, well, from what I've gathered, there's a connection with Torkin and my mentor's demise.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I don't want to
It's
talk
all
about
coming
it,
together.
but
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
from what I understand, he hired the person that killed my mentor. So I randomly had this job opening. They asked me to look and find any information I can on Torkin as part of the job.
Not sure. I mean,
These days not
Torkin's a
work as well as I thought.
gold-blooded politician, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he'd stoop that far. I mean, I know he employed your mentor on his earlier project.
Yeah.
And I know you asked me to get details on that,
Did it
but
again.
besides what we already got, I got nothing more for you.
Okay, well, if you hear anything else as you just kind of do your work, let me know.
I'll keep you posted.
Thank you.
Stay safe tonight, Vic.
Yep. And has he been able to find any of the pieces for the police?
Yep, a couple of parts came in.
So I'm gonna.
He found a couple of parts. He's put out orders for others. Day or two, maybe they'll come in, maybe they won't.
I'm gonna work on putting some of the stuff together before I go to bed, and then I'm gonna do the bag of holding.
So you're sleeping at the shop?
Yep.
Okay.
Because from what I understand, they're just gonna get me in the morning or whatever.
Not gonna lie, these are cool dice.
Oh yes, yes they are.
Until
So-
they land like that.
You're sleeping. You two at Point are going off back to Breeze home.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you guys are doing on the way there?
On the way there? No. I am out of money.
Broke as a joke.
It's about 5 in the evening. The sun's starting to go down. You walk inside. You walk inside.
Do I see,
Music's going. People are happy.
do I see Della?
No, you don't.
Okay. Then I'll just walk up to the rooms. Up to the suite.
As will I.
Okay. Point follows you, seemingly eager to get back to her little book.
From Nina. Never seen her read much, but, to each their own.
You get up. Marshall's sitting there on the couch, feet up on the coffee table. Della's cleaning everything.
Ah. Got it.
Ah. Welcome back. Sorry I wasn't here to greet you.
It's all good. Do you think we could, get some food here?
Of
Been a
course, if you'll just give
long
me a
day.
moment. She starts to put away her cleaning supplies, taking a basket full of sheets, and heads on downstairs.
I will, pull out a bunch of books. Look at them. And then realize that Marshall
Uh-oh.
probably had a better amount of information about most of this than, I'll be able to glaze from them.
Oh,
but
taking
well.
some reading, are you? What did you got? Oh. He's laughing
Don't
at
even.
these legal books. Look at all. Are you trying to be a legal advisor?
Well, if you're gonna do illegal things, you need to know how to do it well. And I'm gonna grab the first
You
book,
need to know the loops
open it up.
and fall asleep.
Well, say no more. If you need anything, I'm right here.
I do have something.
Yes.
Are we supposed to give the object to you, or another point of contact that we have not met yet?
What?
Another contact that should be here shortly. If they don't show up, you'll hand it off to me.
Well, that's all I need to know. Ravak, take your pick. This one looks fairly interesting, and I'll hand him the elemental binding one.
Hand him the largest law book.
No, I wouldn't do that.
You're gonna be awake longer than I
The
am.
book he hands you is titled Harnessing the Elements.
Sure.
We've got a week. This will activate our brains.
Alright, so you guys gonna spend the next couple days reading?
No, I'm going to take the next hour or two to just skim. Like, the glossary. I will skim the glossary for
Alright, what's the book you're getting into?
just the biggest... the book about the sovereigns. I want to figure out
Was this
all...
the legal system books, or is this the biography from a former sovereign?
I took that one and I set it off to the side. I'm not even going to look at that. I was just being nice. Just the one that he handed me about the sovereigns and what they do. Well, he handed me the legal system, the 3-volume.
Okay,
I will
so you
grab
have to do a
the
bit of
first one.
You do a little bit of searching. About halfway through volume 1, when you're looking through the glossary, somewhere halfway should be a section detailing the sovereigns.
And this is like a modern book. It's not like outdated. Fine. I'll open
It seems
it.
to have been updated in the past couple years. About
Okay.
3 years old, maybe.
Good enough for me. I will go to that one and try and figure out what sovereigns there are and who we're working with.
Okay, Ravak, you're reading the binding book. Are you actually reading it or skimming it?
Does it have chapter headings?
This one actually does.
Yeah, I'm skimming those. If any of them catch my eye, more along the lines of like proposed theories, I'll read those chapters. Because I'm not interested necessarily in how it actually works as much as what people
Theoretically.
think it could be used for.
Okay. Those would be near, then you find a couple chapters that interest you near the back of the book. Last couple, after going over everything else. Alright, you're building that thing. Point goes into a room and pulls out. Well, on the way out, she starts opening her chest cavity to get the book out. Okay.
Good reading.
So you're reading for about an hour?
Yep, just trying to find all the
Okay.
sovereigns' names and what they
For as
do.
big as these books are, most of them seem to be full of like basic scenarios, like how this works in this situation.
If this,
The,
then that.
the system is a bit more simple. So in total, there are 10 sovereigns, each of which in charge of a different section.
Mhm.
So would you like me to go slowly so you can take notes?
You could just send me a text. That might be faster.
Right, I can send you a text with all the details I go over here. So there are your 10 sovereigns. Sovereign of elements, of war, peace, agriculture, trade, information, law, coin, magic, and adventure.
Wow. Some of those I
Kinda
feel like
working
would
like it
overlap,
works.
but okay.
Kind of works in like a council system. They work with each other from their different departments and try to figure things out. Most times things go by majority vote, but things get a bit more complicated. It starts getting more and more even. If there's if 7 sovereigns say yay for something and 3 say nay, it passes. Anything below that, it gets a bit more complicated.
Interesting.
The sovereign of elements is mainly in charge of basically elemental research, taking care of that, putting funds towards that, developing that.
Does
Limiting
it give their
elementals.
names?
Yep.
Okay. I'll ask.
Well, no, it doesn't give their names for
It
the
doesn't-
current ones in this one. It's
Oh, okay.
going over their general peace
Okay,
process.
got it.
Sovereign of war is mainly during times of peace, policing, things like that. Just
Got it.
maintaining the peace. In times of war, military. And they have a bit more authority once war hits. Sovereign of peace is for public and foreign affairs. So, delegations, what's the word for it? Ambassadors. Basically talking with and working with any organization or people outside the country. Agriculture, maintaining farming, hunting, wildlife conservation, environmental safety. Trade handles the merchants and also mainly in charge of trade deals with other kingdoms and places. Sovereign of information, investigation. This is where you get your detectives from. So some parts of the government are much bigger than others. Sovereign of law is basically the Supreme Court. It's the smallest department, but they go over the laws, find out what's outdated, what's being cross-referenced, things like that. And if there's any big legal thing that people are having problems with, yeah, it's like the Supreme Court. He's final judge, jury, and executioner. Sovereign of coin, bit more of a lower job, handling the country's finances, banks, loaning money. Basically, it's like your stock market. Magic is another research-based one, but also about trying to regulate magic within the kingdom and their cities. And adventure is one of the more recent ones, but it's pretty freeform, about mostly focused on exploration, expansion, and the Adventurers Guild management. So anytime they find someplace that's new or interesting, different departments get involved. Together, these 10 sovereigns work together to run the country.
Okay.
Now,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Russell, for your elemental theory stuff, there's not a lot.
I should be
There's
comparing
not a
spells.
lot of diversity. Most of this is coming from the author's point of view and his ideas. But basic point he's thinking of is first he seems to be delving into why crystals, gemstones, those types of minerals are more effective at holding and manipulating an elemental in some way. Methods, they can't seem to get too much farther past generating a single effect, even with their highest grade materials. Elementals, they are a bit more freeform to work with. Like instead of just shooting out a gout of flame, you can cause them to create heat, suck heat. You can get a little bit more complicated with a pure elemental. But most of it's delving into his ideas why certain minerals work over others. But the last chapter seems to touch on an idea of mix matching elementals, or what happens if you try to put two conflicting elementals or methods into a single gem. He doesn't seem to have tested it because he has some ideas that it's explosive. Kind of like
I can see
putting,
why.
kind of putting like negative matter and positive matter together, antimatter and human matter together. Just go, boom. But if he can prove, like seemed interested in trying to find a way to see if he can make it safer. So it's at least testing. Book was about 5 years old. That's about all you find in your volumes.
Who was this one written by? It wasn't any name that I recognized, right? It
Nope.
wasn't. Okay. No.
Little gnome called Briven Pale Pitch.
Well, after reading that, I'll set it aside.
Okay.
Let's see.
It's dark outside. It's really dark.
About what time is it then?
3 a.m.
Yep. 3 a.m. the next day. No, it's about 7:30.
Well, I think I will find something to eat, and then just...
Has food been brought to us?
Yeah, food was brought up to you.
Yeah, I will...
You didn't take any specific orders, so just a
Just
general
general.
evening meal.
I probably didn't even notice what it was. I was just eating it.
Casting prestidigitation, so it tasted different anyway.
It all tasted like chicken.
Bread with like a garlic butter dip, some roast, and mashed potatoes.
Enough for me.
I'm gonna ask my friend about Elemental what he's done because he made that fish.
That was what he used to graduate with. It's
Right.
terribly inefficient. It has a huge power suck up.
So
Other
he
than
doesn't
that,
know
it's
very much.
fairly impressive, lifelike fish.
Has he improved since then?
I would
It was
hope
just
so.
something. It was just something he made.
So he hasn't really dealt with elementals much since then.
No, he mostly maintains the shop. He doesn't do a lot of experimenting. He had to do that project to get past final exams.
Gotcha.
He was one of
He
those.
really wanted to rub it into some student's face. You hear him talking like he curses by this guy. He hates him.
Yeah.
One of those.
He really wanted
students.
to rub it into his face.
Alright. So he just basically it was his last dish. Like
Most
Okay.
lifelike fish ever seen made to date. Still
Mike,
incredibly inefficient and not practical, but impressive all the same.
alright.
Right. So you two have finished skimming your books, unless you want to start reading them completely.
did I
I
ever
got
figure
time
out the names?
Current names? That's not in any of the books you got.
Awesome.
Except one. If you did you touch the biography from the old Sovereign of Law?
No, I did not.
Then nothing at all.
Awesome. I'll ask Marshall. I didn't learn much out of these books. Do you know the 10 names of the sovereigns?
Current sovereign? So yes, let me just seeming to mock you, he pulls some glasses from his pocket and puts them on. And grabs it and takes a list that he's made next to him. Yes, where to begin?
At the top of the list.
It's like I've had
The current sovereigns are in order. Torkin Deep Rest,
I knew it.
Hildorf, Sovereign of Elements.
I knew it.
Shane Rockin, Sovereign of War, human,
Shane.
age 46. Let's
Shane
put it.
Rockin'?
Yep, Rockin.
And
Rokhen. Sovereign of Peace, Silkist Riverspark, halfling, female. Am I going too fast for you?
These are just weird spark
Riverspark.
halfling.
Yep.
Okay.
Agriculture is Dolrum Lightbeard, Mountaindorf.
Dolrum.
Dolrum. D-U-L-R-U-M. Dull and rum.
Got it. Golem.
Edvar Becker, Sovereign of Trade.
Edvar.
Edvard Becker. There's a D at the end of that.
Edvard Becker. What the crap?
Oh, this is just as
He's
fun.
a elf? Human?
No, he's human.
Human, okay.
Here we go. The Sovereign of Information is a wood elf by the name of Muriel Swiftstar.
I'm just gonna put Swiftstar.
Yep. She's been in office for at least a century.
Classic.
Yep. The current Sovereign of Law is Kelver Wildfield, a gnome who has also been around for a long time, but hasn't been a sovereign for as long. Sovereign of Coin is Tallow Vitvold.
Tallow?
Tallow. Yep. Human.
And Kelver was a human?
Gnome.
Halfling? No. No? No. He was a gnome.
The current Sovereign of Magic is Nithrali Ashcloak. She is
I
the
knew
newest
it.
sovereign.
Newest?
Yep. She is the
So-
youngest and the newest.
Kelver is fairly new.
Yep. Only about 50 years.
Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna write that down.
And finally, the Sovereign of Adventure is Lucia Willowvale.
Lucio.
Lucia.
Lucia.
Human. Anything you want to double check?
Nope.
Okie dokie. Those are your current sovereigns.
That is literally all I wanted from the person at the front desk, and that is not what I got.
You should have specifically asked that.
I didn't want to push my luck. But out of everybody to ask for a job, I asked for the two good ones because I am interested in elemental research and magic research. I was being honest.
Well, the job listing you got didn't have their names on it.
Nope, I know.
But it is someone in the elemental research department.
It is the elemental research department, which I am also interested in, since I am
Very specifically.
half elemental.
Technically half Jin.
Which is an
Elemental.
Fair enough.
I do find it weird that they're considered elementals.
Me too. I mean, I can understand
No.
none of them.
No.
Maybe
Nope.
the Earth one.
No.
Kind of looks like a rock.
They're all too sentient. They're too intelligent for most elementals, besides the dwarven-like ones.
Well, there's quite a few. There's the fire snakes too. The salamanders. They're
Yeah.
fairly.
Base elementals have little to no intelligence. And
Those are
bestowed
elemental
upon them.
spirits, but there are like elemental
Yeah,
beings.
But mostly only in the fire plane.
Also true.
The knowledge
Yeah, I'm a
elemental.
bit dissatisfied with that.
Sure.
We can talk for that bit of homebrew on a DM talk.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so sleep.
Sleep.
Sleep is good.
Sleep is very
Yep.
good.
I'll go into my trance for 4 hours and then read the rest of the night.
What are you reading?
Well, I can't remember what other books we had. Let's see. Not the law books.
Definitely not the law books.
That was the dumbest idea that Mr. Pipe had.
It really was. As soon as I got back to the thing, I was like,
Marshall knows all that we
Marshall
need to
should know everything about this. What am I thinking?
Yeah, so not the law books. Let's see. History.
So
Not that important.
okay.
I had
so
the history.
books-
There was a book on alchemy.
Wait. The history
There
was the most recent history, right?
a small book with a recent history, a biography from the previous sovereign of law and his experience in the system. There was what else?
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna pick up the biography.
Okay.
Because it was massive, and I have 4 hours.
Nowhere near as big as the law books, but that's not to be expected.
And
I am looking for information on the two names that we were given. Deep Breast and Nithrali. I'm looking for information on them. That's what I'm doing. Because we were told to get any information on
I
them.
did share. You were in the room. You
Yes.
listened.
You were in the room, you heard.
Yes, I'm going to get information on them because we were told to get information on them. We would get bonus money. So he didn't say where we needed to get it from, so I will get it from a biography.
He kind of wanted paperwork from their office.
Any new information you gave him would be...
Yeah.
So anything he already has and knows is worth dirt. Anything he doesn't know is worth gold.
Well, my guess is Marshall's not the one to read this biography, so I will.
Man, I got the stupid potion.
And even if it is worth dirt,
Resilience.
maybe we'll learn a little bit about the
Sure.
press recent.
Oh, there
most
is a
recent
book
things.
on minerals and ore alchem.
Possible.
Possibly.
Potential.
It was, yes.
Just the mineral encyclopedia.
So I will spend like 2 hours on. Well, I'll spend probably like 3 hours on the autobiography, looking for information on those two.
Okay.
And then the last hour, I'll check the mineral book for anything about ore alchem.
Okay.
And if that has nothing about ore alchem, I'll just go back to elemental binding.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going through the minerals book first?
Sure.
Okay. So sleeping, shut down.
4 hours after.
Marshall goes off to his room, yawning, sitting off to bed. Della's already come in, taken everything. She's finished cleaning up. Just a couple lets for you to read by. You go through the minerals book, and you do find a section on orichalcum. It seems off. Like almost all the other minerals have had long, detailed passages. This one seems to be glossed over. Like it's new, rare, only found here in Roland. It's used to make the armor of higher end officers in the orichalcum order. Why it's called that? Their namesake.
Interesting.
Nothing else. Nothing about how to work with it. Nothing about any other properties it might have.
Nothing about crystals inside of them, huh?
No, nothing.
Well, I'll move on to the biography.
It does mention that in some ores there is a crystal inside, but nothing about the crystals.
I'll move on to the biography then.
So
And
that's off. You find that very off.
Worth 7 silver.
Right. Biography takes you most night to read through. You about finish it by the time everyone else starts to wake up. So, Alan, if you want to start rolling for your potions,
Buyer's regret. Already did. It's a potion of resilience.
it's talking about the
And I switched my bag of holding.
Me too.
Oh, I just find that funny. Now there's just a tracker on an ordinary bag.
There it is.
I'm gonna actually ask my friend if he wants to turn this into a bag of holding to sell some.
I would, but I can't with this on.
Okay. Just a thought.
Anyways,
Have it going somewhere else in the city.
I'm going to switch
So-
out some spells after my long rest.
the book you read was about the life of a man named Raynor. Human. Didn't have a last name growing up. He gained one when he became when he was elected to the Sovereign of Law. He took the last name Lawkeeper. Not exactly the most creative man.
Wouldn't expect that from
Raynor,
Lawkeeper.
The best would be if he was chaotic neutral.
I doubt it.
He seems to think very highly of, I think I'm pronouncing that,
Chaotic
Muriel
Druid.
Swiftstar, who's the Sovereign of Information during his entire time. He got to know, he seemed to get along mostly with the humans, Edward and Tallow, who seemed to be elected in close to the near end of his term, well, before he retired. The one he didn't seem to get along with the most was Shane Rockin, the Sovereign of War. He didn't seem to get into it, but he just didn't like to be in the same room as him. He felt off, weird. There's nothing in there about Nithrali. Torkin was the newest elemental, was the newest sovereign by the time he left, about 5 years after. Didn't have much to say about him. He met him at meetings and once at a dinner party. Seemed like a solid guy. Good nose for business.
Gotcha.
nothing really interesting.
Just change our magic bag. Find library.
Except that Muriel's favorite food is some type of berry. She seems to take like snowberries with her everywhere, snacking on them every so often.
Interesting.
Snowberries. I feel like that came right out of Skyrim.
Interesting.
I just realized that there are snowberries in Skyrim. Dang it all.
Yes, there are.
I'll make mental note of that. Not that it's going to help me much, but I will make mental note of it.
I didn't even make physical notes, so I hope you make mental note good.
Well, there wasn't much to mentally
Exactly.
note besides Marion likes snowberries.
Mental note. I was.
If I need to poison Marion, I will be poisoning her with berries.
And my poison potion.
You mean laxatives?
No, I have a physical poison
Yeah,
potion.
he
of
has a
poison.
potion of poison.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
you
right.
stole
The
it.
laxatives got taken away from me.
Dang it.
Oh, I totally forgot about this. Before I went to bed, I would have, there's a warming thing inside the room, or is there a fridge? Was there like a fridge?
There is a fridge.
There's a fridge.
Mhm.
Okay, I cleaned that out. I got some, I had Della bring in some dirt. I put the silverthorn in the dirt and like think healing thoughts. And then I will take my tablespoon of fancy crystals that I got from you guys, and I'll take a couple, set them on the fridge, and then I'll sprinkle the rest on the dirt. 'Cause in my head, they seem like a mineral that helps this plant grow, knowing that it needs to be in
you're
frigid.
trying to
I close the fridge.
get that root
So,
to
was this just some of the silverthorn? some
No, this is the
silverthorn
one that
This
flowers
is the
or
one
was the-
that-
The spider uprooted.
The spider
Oh, so
uprooted. So that it still has some roots on it. So I'm hoping that if I put it in a frigid temperature with a little bit of like moisture and those crystals, that it will somehow, by some miracle, work.
roll a nature check. Natural one. The fridge explodes.
Right.
It grows so fast that the whole entire building is
And that's
now
also what I'm worried about, is that it starts to grow and just like cracks through everything.
becomes sentient,
Natural 20.
fighting a silverthorn monster. Shambling mound.
Made of silverthorn?
Gosh.
I should not have said a thing.
A shambling silverthorn.
Oh. They dealt enough damage without moving.
Right.
Shambling mounds are already immune to lightning and fire
Fire.
damage.
And it would probably be resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing.
Just
From all
because it was
non-adamant
so
type.
hard to break
Yeah.
them.
What spell was I gonna grab?
Yeah. So when I switched my magic bag, did I notice anything different about the sphere thingy?
Sphere thingy? No.
Okay. Then I will ritually cast Identify. I'll pull out the pearl. And identify.
Mhm.
Well, I guess I have to touch it.
It shot you.
Right. No touch. So I will identify it. Figure out School of Magic.
Elemental. It's a magic ring enchanted with the School of Abjuration.
Okay. Would it be divination? Since it like tracks you.
Divination and abjuration.
Okay.
Divination on the ring itself, abjuration on the little piece of gemstone on it.
Interesting.
As far as you can tell, there's some kind of elemental something living in the ring that makes makes notes about when something enters or leaves the bag. And divination's just there to track you.
Awesome.
So from your best layman's guess, because I have your passive intelligence right here,
Well, the spell, it tells me everything about the object.
small object came from a nearby quarry. The gemstone inside of it is a basic piece of quartz, rose colored, so rose quartz. Inside of it is, again, some elemental something. The raw magic behind an elemental seems to be throwing it a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit off. But yeah, elemental tracks is something that goes in and out. divination spell finds the ring. If an artificer who helped put it together or knows what they're doing gets to it, they can tell if something. They can get more specific in what was left and kept, but only within like the last day or so. So it doesn't record everything for all the time. It's
just within.
It's like computer memory. It will remember specifics about something, but as more information comes in, it'll forget.
Okay.
So
But I
essentially,
learned that it was created by an elemental binding.
it's an elemental binding.
Okay. Because it says I learned this spell. Okay.
It's an enchanted ring combined with an elemental
You
binding.
learn the spell?
I don't learn the spell. I learned what spell did it.
Yes, identify. You can now learn every spell in the wizard hand.
That would be awesome.
Wizards will become overpowered overnight.
Right.
They
like
are
disenchant.
already are.
But it would only be spells that you identified. There aren't many spells that
Identifying
affect
a wish
things.
spell.
You identify it.
Yeah, you could. If somebody created something with a wish spell, you would be able to identify it.
Unless they use the wish spell to duplicate another spell.
It
You
was
would
a
still be able to learn what spell created it.
Yes.
part alchemist.
But
I wish
it
this
wouldn't
thing
be
would
the-
just work.
Yeah, I think you would learn the wish spell to duplicate that spell.
Do I do jump or long strider?
Figure it
In
out.
my head, those are like the two worst, but they're actually really nice.
Or do I do grease?
Grease, I think, would be more helpful for you than
You should
jump
do
alongside.
sleep.
That's a wizard spell.
I know.
I
That's a
can-
problem.
Yeah, I can't just automatically switch artificer spells for wizard spells.
I wish you would have done sorcery. Well, never mind.
That's not how sorcerers work.
That's not how
Spells known.
they have spells known. That's right. I looked at it and I was like, that is stupid.
Sorcerers are stupid.
Like 2 spells known and 4 cantrips. I was like, what? That is dumb.
Right. So
They have the opposite problem as warlocks.
Right.
what do you guys do in the morning?
Prepare grease.
I don't know.
Let's start with your elixir. Pipe, what's your elixir for today?
It's a potion of resilience. It's a +1 to my AC. I know.
Alright.
It's not going to be helpful at all.
Alright. Marshall waves you all, letting you all know that he's going to be downstairs. Pipe is in a room.
Point.
Point. Pipe. Both
Timmy,
sides,
Johnny.
You became a woman? That disguise self.
Right.
please. Point's in her room with her spider.
Okay. Dang it. There's only the 2 of us.
Let's go get Trick
Yes.
and head to that warehouse.
Yes, laboratory. That is probably owned by, Torkin Deep Breast. I've got a hunch.
He probably just oversees it.
Well, he's the sovereign elemental. Of course he oversees it.
Definitely. Probably. Right. Going out to the city.
Yes, we will go and
Preparations
find-
for the festival are a lot more obvious now.
Awesome. As we are walking, I will, I had an idea, but I forgot it. We'll just walk.
You make your way out. Marshall raises his mug to you as you leave. Della intercepts you, asks, anything else you need before you go?
Nope, I'm good.
Alright.
We'll be fine.
Right, have a good day, sirs.
You too, man.
Right. You make your way.
Oh, I remember. So, I was thinking we should, use the alchemist apothecary guy's card to get out of the city every once in a while, just to familiarize ourselves with the cards.
On the outskirts of the city.
Yeah. Just as a quick exit, be like, hey, and they'll be like, yep, you're good. We've seen you every day for the past week and a half. We hate you. Go away.
Yeah, so you guys are going to pick up Trick?
Yep.
Right. Doesn't take that long to get there. He's
No.
fairly close by in the city. Store's
Just
locked
an
up.
idea.
The store is locked up, eh?
Lights off, close sign. You're in your lab.
What time is it? Is this
About 9, 10 in the morning.
This is not going to. Is anybody watching?
Just no one's really watching. There are a couple people walking to and fro.
I will wait for when nobody is walking around, and I will pick the lock with my thieves'
About 10
tool.
minutes later,
Alarm
go ahead,
goes
take an
off.
attempt. Go ahead, take an attempt.
Alarm
plus
goes off.
2 dexterity. At least I'm proficient at thieves'
You
tools.
could knock really loud.
Oh no.
6.
That will be a 10.
Okay,
So
it's
it's
a 10.
average. It's a 10 though.
You take it. The lock's not moving, so you just have to spend a bit more time on it. A light goes off in your thing, letting you know someone's trying to break into the store.
I just. Dummies. Look out the people. That's my height.
I think it's magical. I'll start casting Identify on the log.
I open the door. Guys, you're idiots. You could have just not have an alarm on this thing.
I didn't know if anybody was home.
Where did you think I
Who's
went?
gonna be here?
You know what? You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna be here.
Let's
I kind of wanted to surprise him.
let's get out of here.
That's not a good idea in this shop. There's booby traps here when it's locked down.
Good thing I'm very perceptive.
Very blonde.
Right. So how do you guys want to get there? Go take the main road through the Merchant Square.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
let my
might as well.
friend know I'm
Okay.
leaving. And close the door behind me.
You hear kind of like a groan from upstairs, like, okay.
It's like 8 in the morning. What's he doing in bed?
Not everybody has an elf to drag them out of bed in the morning.
He is an elf.
He has a habit of like trying to figure out new things. One of the things he's starting to get into is sleep.
Oh, okay. He's trying to figure out sleep. I don't know how.
He
this
finds it
works.
interesting. He goes to it. He actually takes the time to sleep.
He has this big of a journal of just things he's memories
Yeah,
or
he's interested in dreams.
dreams.
That's hilarious.
You
of
can
course don't
dream
know
in your
this.
trance.
That is funny.
Well,
So what did I miss? Just insert conversation. Okay.
Honestly,
Not
not
much.
much.
A lot of boring books that Mr. Pipe picked up from the library that I had to read because he sleeps.
Nope,
What?
I read some of them.
one book wasn't annoying.
One book wasn't.
Is Point with us?
Yeah, points with you.
She's got a very deep voice today. She must have changed channels.
Well then, Point, what did you learn about your
Mechanic?
mechanical learning
She
book?
just hands in the book, read it yourself.
How to fix things.
Awesome. You know what?
What about
Not as interesting, but
Learn
Yeah.
new ways, new methods.
Well, let us continue. As we're walking, I'll pull out the alchemist book and just like thumb through it.
Most of it's beginner knowledge, stuff you already know. Basic herbs. A couple actually a couple of the herb details are wrong and you chuckle to yourself.
We're 7 silver. Wow.
I spent 5 hours of my life for nothing.
I know.
I'm just hearing you guys mumble.
I mean, I have a lot of
Is there
hours
anything
to
I don't
spend.
know?
Couple of herbs near the back that you haven't heard much about.
I figured as much.
They're not.
What was it
They don't
called
grow
again?
near volcanoes.
An interesting one you did find was some kind of small bush-like thing that looks like crystals that gives some kind of lightning resistance.
It's elemental resistance, but yeah.
Like continents away.
Great. Awesome. Yep.
I would have to import that.
Okay, let's take it back.
Yes, Crystal Sage.
Yes. You guys, are we doing drugs? I think we're doing drugs.
Did we really say that?
The whole time you guys are like, man, this is like drugs. It's like, shh. I invented a plant that when you eat it, it gives you resistance to all elemental damage for like a minute, or no, it was like
Couple rounds.
it was like 6 rounds or something like that.
That's a minute.
No, that's not a minute.
In my own
10
notebooks.
rounds is.
Oh, that's right.
I'd have to look at the things, but that's what it did. And if you ate too much, you would overdose and die. It would shut your body down.
That's a drug.
Exactly.
And harvesting it was dangerous.
Yeah,
and-
harvesting it could kill you.
Are we doing drugs?
If you did it wrong, it would paralyze you, and you were in the middle of the desert.
Fine.
Oh, wow.
Wasn't the cure to eat Crystal Sage, though?
Another compound made from
Oh.
its
It was.
sage.
Yeah, it was a
Different
compound
drug.
from it.
Same like how anti-venom's made from snake venom.
Exactly.
Anyways, it takes you a bit longer than normal. The Merchant Square is filled with people setting things up, getting things ready.
I have less buyer's remorse in real life.
Most of the merchants
Okay.
and vendors have actually started setting up on the main roads going up to the Merchant Square because the square is being completely taken over for the festival.
Just randomly pickpockets somebody. Got a natural 15 plus.
Nice, you just pickpocket a random person.
Just a random shopkeeper.
Yeah. So as you're going along, your little hand just quickly snatches out. You have a small coin purse in your hands now.
Hey, how much coin?
You have 15 gold, 12 silver, and 10 and 11 copper.
15 plus. How much is your sleight of hand? 12.
15 plus 6 plus 5, so 11.
Yeah, that 26.
So
Completely oblivious.
15 gold,
Yep, 26 silver,
I can't
copper.
even roll that with a natural
26
20.
silver, and 5 copper.
10 copper.
Hey, could I get a pen?
Me neither.
Yeah, like 26. I can't.
I could get it on investigation.
I can't even do that.
That's it.
I could get that on nature and survival.
Investigation or Arcana is all I could get.
You guys check your map. You're where you need to be. This is the place where you think that the module is being kept, well, possibly. And
Are there any big warehouses? People walking out with white suits? Anything like that?
this one, a couple people walking in and out. This entire area seems to be buildings, people coming in and around through them. Anything from a couple people in white coats, but most of them seem to be little runners, like people paid to move between buildings, carrying papers, a couple objects. One with like a tray of coffee.
I will stop the one with coffee. Question.
It's a young man, actually, but sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm sorry, I can't talk right now.
He's distracted.
Is there anybody else
I
that is not
pickpocket
running?
Just one person like calmly walking out. You can talk to him.
Yes. What is this building? We're new here. Silver and Hole sent me, gave me this
Yes.
workers sheet thingy.
Let me see that for a second.
While he's looking at
Oh, you're looking for. Where did I put it? You're looking for Safviel. You're looking for Safviel?
Sure. I'm looking for this address in particular, but yes, Safviel is over it.
Your funeral.
That is
Back
what
to
I've
Kate
been
when he
told.
walks away.
I pickpocketed him.
No address? Dang it. Is there a building that people are not coming out of?
Yep.
I will go to that one.
So, where we are? We're right here. So between these 3 buildings and this one here. So people coming intermediately out between these 2 and that one. This one, no one's been coming out of.
Does it look like boarded up, or is it...
No.
Okay. I will, walk in there, I guess.
So you start making your way over there, and suddenly from behind you, you hear the big doors hurriedly burst open as a bunch of people start running out. So people are like, "Make a hole! Make a hole!"
I will turn around with fire in my hand. Make a hole? Where?
And a couple of people wearing half-plate armor shove you a bit to the side. Make a hole! Dangerous materials out of the way. Move, 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 move. Excuse me! Sorry! Sorry, excuse me. We gotta go. Bye!
Is it a wagon?
No, it's a half-elf researcher, female, long blonde hair. She's moving hurriedly with a big smile on her face, holding something in her hands that's flashing and definitely looks like it's going to explode.
I will drop a spell for detect magic. Just not detect magic. I don't have
Identify?
Identify.
You need to touch it.
Oh frick! You're
You
right.
just like jump.
I need to be a sorcerer. Never mind.
They're making their way for the building no one's coming in or out of.
I guess I'll follow them there.
So you follow this small crowd. She runs up. Someone opens the door for her. She chucks the thing in. They close the door as you hear a loud boom.
I will go back to where they came from.
Some smoke comes out of the vent windows. There's windows. It's more like there's a couple of vents to let out smoke. Oh, that could have been a disaster.
What was that?
All right, everyone, party's over. Back to whatever you were doing. Oh, thank you, Ronlin. I couldn't have done that.
What was the lady's name that I was looking for?
You're welcome, Safviel.
Safviel?
Yep.
Safviel.
Who, by your reckoning, is the lovely blonde half-elf that just chucked an explosive something into the box.
Sounds like my kind of job.
Right?
I want to throw that with catapults.
Right!
I am
It could
hired.
be worse. You're probably gonna sound like a sponge full of highly explosive who knows what's.
Ah, Miss Safviel. I presume...
Yes, what can I help you with?
I,
You're probably looking for Ronlin.
Huh? I'm looking for whoever posted this job.
Wait. Is that my job posting?
Yes, that is your job post.
Finally! I've been looking. You guys must be the new guards.
We might be the new guards.
Potentially. What do you need help with?
Everything? Follow me, please.
Everything.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Ronlin. You have a great day. Goodbye. It was a pleasure not meeting you.
Pleasure.
My funeral! I didn't say that. Definitely
She
thinking
grabs
it.
you and she's pulling you into the main building.
I'm going to follow.
She is
Because I'm very
excited.
intrigued. I like explosions.
I'm about to like grab the pass and it's like ah!
Excuse me. Oh, don't worry. They're with
A
me.
little
They're my
bit
new
of
guards.
A little bit of smoke, just like a smoke Mr. Pipe is left in the pan.
A couple of guards start to stop you guys, and she just brushes past me. It's okay. They're with me. They're my new assistants.
Assistants? Wait.
Wait, this
Cover
is
guards. Happen to
Guards, bodyguards, runners detail, assistants, all of the above.
Oh, what's the pay on this?
Yeah, what was the pay on that?
10 cents.
I think it was something in silver.
$2.
It wasn't very much.
It wasn't a skilled laborer's pay.
Now, let me just show you where you're going to be working, and then you can tell me what you want.
Okay.
What you want?
Okay, Jenna, and welcome. There's a little 5-foot alcove in front of you. No, person-sized alcove. Welcome to my workshop.
Oh gosh.
Are we all supposed to fit in here?
Oh no, just each of you. And come on, I think we can squeeze at least some of you in here.
I am a very large fellow.
I sigh and take off my armor.
You put that together yourself. Never mind, I'll find out later. And ooh, she's looking at Point, and she is starry-eyed.
What did we get ourselves into, guys?
Make a sign for Point.
What's
Do not touch.
So there's fire remorse, and then there's sign-up remorse. This has not been a good 2 days for me.
That's all you're doing.
I know.
Are they with you?
Yes, this is an animatronic structure.
I haven't met a real workforce before! Oh, we can wait till later.
Yes, please.
Alright, come on, everyone in. It's gonna be a little tight, but I fit quite a lot of things on this thing. Don't trust me, it's a bit bigger than it looks.
Did you say 5 feet in diameter?
Well, it's a 5 by 5 foot alcove.
Right. Okay. This is gonna be really squishy.
Oh, yes.
We are all very big. Well,
Trick is like laying on the ground, like, yeah.
we just put Trick on.
Trick is half the size of the room in diameter.
Yeah. He's like barely up to mid thigh on me.
Is there a table
No.
in there?
No.
No,
it
it's
is
just a
this.
little alcove.
Oh,
That's it?
this is where we are.
Yep. All right, everyone
Where's
squeezed
the front
in.
door?
Everyone squeezed in, ready? And she hits a brick. You hear a release of steam, and the floor lowers a bit rapidly for your liking.
Oh, it lowers.
Yep. And you're in the room before you.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Why else is no door?
Yep. Welcome to my workshop.
You carried an explosive thingy from down here all the way out there?
Oh no. From one of the other labs.
There's other labs.
Yeah.
So this isn't where you do your most dangerous experiments. You save those for near the bomb shelter.
Oh, this is my own personal lab.
Ah.
See, I found it, I asked to keep it, and Torkin said I could.
Really? Twerking did.
Yep. Apparently they had no idea this entire place was here. With a little bit of work and some installations here and there, I was, well, anyways, you can get acquainted with it here. Oh, come here.
What are you doing for twerking?
So, she's ignoring you.
She's
She takes
ignoring
you
me.
over to these tables right here.
I am ignoring her.
I'm going to slightly move this closer.
Boop.
What happened?
Oh, he just switched the camera so that we
Is
have
that
to see
good?
where we're at.
Yeah, good enough.
She takes all of you over to these tables here. You can move your pieces yourselves if you wish. But too late, I'm going to move them for you.
I was like, oh, okay.
Over here is my chemistry station. So there's these long workbenches covered in alchemical compounds, materials, pieces, equipment, anything and everything. This is
A small lava tear falls.
This is the workshop you dreamed of.
Nice.
Everything is sorted and somewhat sorted on the shelves behind on the wall, mounted up
Sorted
on the wall.
in her fashion.
Bit haphazard, bits and pieces here, but there's a bunch of stuff going on here.
I'll push that vial of acid back a little bit so it doesn't drop on it.
And this is where I do all my anything involving alchemy and compounds, and well, I'm sure you can guess.
Yes, I can. It's beautiful.
Over here, she takes you to the two shelves over there. There's another small table.
Nailed it. Dang it.
This is where I keep all of my notes and reference books. Table is covered. It has a couple of small light stones to keep up for the night.
Quick
Lots
glance.
of papers, pens.
Just looking over any of the notes that vaguely look like alchemy.
Nothing
notes.
alchemy based here.
Nothing?
Most
Okay.
it seems to be based around an earth elemental for some reason.
Is it just written in common?
Some of them. A couple other notes written in Elvish, which you can understand.
Yes.
Not close enough to take a look for.
I have some of the dumbest languages for this campaign.
Yep, she takes you through the entire place. Over here is where she
I
keeps
can
her
write
supplies.
notes that nobody will be able to read.
This is where she keeps expired and volatile stuff that might explode. It's a reinforced small room. Storage room right here, filled with other scrolls, books, and anything else in the chests. Foodstuffs. This is her personal quarters. She doesn't take you inside of it, but she just nods at the door.
These are very large chests.
A couple of break tables for previous guards. And then she takes you to her favorite part. Right here. Closed door, made of some kind of dark greenish material. You've never
Scratch
seen
it.
this material before. Nope, nothing comes off.
Is this Aura Alchem?
Oh yes, it is. Very astute of you. Pure Aura Halcom ceiling chamber.
Sealing chamber?
And come here. The best part. Some more notes on that table there with the rock on it. That's not a rock, though. It's a small pillow with a crystal ball on it.
Is it the crystal from the world?
She taps the crystal ball, and kind of like a screen projects on the wall in front of her. Kind of like a security cam feed on the inside of the room. And inside of it, if I can find what I'm looking for, there's an earth elemental in the corner.
Is it a regular earth elemental? Because those are large.
Are they really?
All Challenge Rating 5 elementals are large.
Even the bomb.
Thank you for reminding me of that. I actually forgot. So that would be this piece?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
yeah,
one
that
is
one.
large. The giants are silver.
That's right.
Gosh. Put that into perspective.
It's a bit hunched over, but it's there.
Why do you have an earth elemental in there?
Oh, this was an idea. No, this is an idea of mine. I had elemental behavior. So one thing I was always curious about is when we summon elementals, we give them some kind of purpose by their summoner. So I wanted to see what would happen if you just pulled up an elemental and there was nothing there. This is day 7, I believe.
With no purpose?
Yep, just it was summoned straight up in there, and she's watching what it does.
What has it done?
She has given it no directive, no purpose, no nothing. It is it's still sitting there.
So it just sits there, hasn't done anything.
Mm-hmm. She's monitoring its behavior.
Is this her?
Perfect.
That actually works really well.
The height is perfect.
Well, except for me.
You and your armor.
Well, you're not that much taller
I
than me.
mean, that's just counting the gun on
Oh,
my
that's
shoulder.
the gun. The guy.
I just make sure it's 9 feet in the air for some reason.
Right.
That'd be such a dumb idea. Well, other than then it would be able to turn.
Well,
over my
by
head.
all technicalities, since you put these on their side, they're 10 feet tall.
Yep. Tall bookshelves. Books, scrolls, newspapers.
That's very true. Deceptive.
Right? You don't know how big a half-inch is until you play.
Fascinating, isn't it?
Yes. Now, what will we be doing?
He used to roll the dice.
Oh wait, hold on a second. No. You. She points at Rebecca. Get notes from the table, please. I need a pen. Stat.
I'll go and grab a pen and paper.
And the rest of the notes
She's-
from the table.
She has her head really close to the crystal ball, like trying to hear something, and she's scrawling down, as far as you can tell, gibberish.
Is it common gibberish or elvish gibberish?
It's let me see your languages.
Elven and common.
Yep, it is gibberish in its purest form.
Brilliant. Is she using common or elvish characters?
Common characters, but the sound that they put together is no idea what the heck it's supposed to mean. Okay. Fascinating. Hasn't spoken yet.
What the heck is primordial?
Rocks.
It's not. So I speak primordial. Air elementals, well, in the airplane, they speak Auran.
Mm-hmm.
In the earth plane, they speak Terran. In the fire plane, they speak Ignan. In the water plane, they speak Aquan. So what the heck is primordial?
Primordial is an easier way to put it down, so you don't have to write down. It has its 4 different dialects.
Is
If
that
you-
what it is?
If you learn, I think as far as I know, if you learn Primordial, you learn all 4 languages. You only know the
Ignan.
Ignan version,
Yeah.
because there's a natural born one for you. So you can make out some of the little bits it says, nothing much. You still can't put together a full sentence, but you recognize some sounds.
What's it saying?
He's getting gibberish from it. He can just because he can recognize the sounds, he can't put together a full word with it.
No,
'Cause it's
I'm
Terran.
asking her what's it saying.
Me?
I would assume she learned.
No idea. I can take this to an expert in primordial. My guess, Terran, given that it's Earth.
Then how are you writing down what it's saying? You have no idea what it's saying.
She's writing down what her best guess is.
I will
I thought I was crazy on my bed.
grab a paper as I'm watching, and I will do my best in primordial to write down what it's saying. Closest with Ignan. Similar, but kind of off. Since the planes do overlap, kind of.
Okay.
It's like writing. It's like writing Spanish while someone's speaking Portuguese.
Yeah. That might be a little bit of a stretch, but yeah.
So what you
No,
get-
it's more like,
Writing Creole while someone speaks French.
yeah, it's more like that. It's like writing French while somebody's speaking Creole, or vice versa, whatever, yeah.
Oh, how fire genasi of you to consider your language to be the superior one.
Yes,
Well-
I do.
So
Fire gymnastics.
okay. Lovely. So from what little you, as you read over her shoulder, you put down, it seems to be a repeat, like a constant repeat, like a mantra.
Okay.
It's something unfamiliar, something stone, something why.
Have you tried asking her? Have you
Okay,
tried
got
going
it.
in there with it?
I believe that would break the experiment.
Would it?
That just defeat the purpose of it. Though now that I have more of you here, once I complete the testing period, it would be interesting to see if one of you went in there.
I am not entering there. I have had my fair
Anyways.
share with fire.
So, basics of the job. You help me.
Wow, that was.
You help me. I've seen a couple of you seem a bit, well, you specifically. You seem very knowledgeable about some areas, and artificing I'm not. So you just help me.
Okay.
You'll be assistants / attendants and guards. You'll accompany me to parties, briefings, meetings.
Oh, I can definitely do the guard part.
Well, I am actually very interested in elementals and the binding nature of it.
Oh, it's so interesting. If I can do well enough here, I might be able to get part of Alphys's group.
Who?
Alphys. Oh, Alphys Windsong. Hi, Elf. She's been here for a long time.
Alphys.
She's one of the head binders here. Works with Torkin most of the time. Has been working on something for a long time, complete secret, so she won't talk about it.
You said half elf?
Full elf.
You said full elf.
Alphys?
Alphys Windsong. High elf.
This lady's half elf.
She's the woman you're working with, Safviel, half elf.
Yeah, Samuel's
Just
half elf.
for anyone that's interested, Primordial is written in Dwarvish script.
Really?
Yes.
That's weird.
Yep.
Does it say anything else about it?
Typical speakers are elementals. You're welcome.
So, pretty much what James just told me.
Yes.
I should have looked that up. I don't know why I didn't.
So, interested?
Does
Oh.
does she work here?
Yes.
Or
Yes, I work here.
Alphys.
no. Does Alphys work here? Or do they just work in the
They have her working on the third floor. The entire third floor is to her.
Got it.
Does she need guards?
I was just curious
Oh,
since
no. You going off. So unless you're working with the government and you're high end on the horror, how come you're probably not going to get up there? And they have everything they need anyways. Why would you want to work up there?
I don't know. Since we will be
What?
able to work down here.
Yes, we are interested.
Very? Really?
Yes.
Indoctrinate us.
Perfect.
Well, at least me.
Safviel, not Sylphus. Yes.
She just changes her name every once in a while. Just
It's Safviel or Safviel?
Safviel.
With an F.
Safviel.
Oh, there is an F and a V. Safviel. I-E-L, you said?
Yep. It'll be a pleasure working with you all.
Mr. Pipe, pleasure
Pipe.
is mine.
And you?
my friends call me Trick.
Trick. You? It's nice to meet you.
Revek.
Tall, bright, and handsome.
And your friend here?
Only my hair.
She is off limits. Just kidding.
Well, I have to talk with you.
I love
later.
how she's off limits and he's not.
She didn't care about
Alright, now. So, what can y'all do?
I am an
it.
alchemist.
What can we do?
And an artificer.
Perfect.
Do a lot of stuff.
What about you two?
I'm an artificer. I deal mostly with mechanics, and I've dabbled a little bit in elemental work. And
Very good, very good, very good. Revak?
I'm also an artificer. I specify in artillery.
explosion.
Cannons.
Ooh. We can probably test those at the firing range.
I would be interested.
Fire.
I don't often get to use my cannons after I retired from
Exciting.
my last job.
And you, Miss Point, can I look at your spider? No.
Okay.
Okay. It's just it's a very impressive piece of work, just so you know.
Just leaves.
So when do you all want to start? You can start now if you like.
Well, I don't have anything to do today.
You took the words out of my mouth.
What will we be doing?
Oh, and what did you say the pay was?
Oh, right.
You don't get paid.
Well, how much would you like to be paid?
Can I get paid in explosives?
I'm not familiar with
What's your range?
anything down here. Not from around these parts.
1 second. Does 10 gold a week suit you?
That would be plenty.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. I'll
Can I make an insight check see if she's cheating us?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Ooh. Ooh, I'm actually proficient in insight. That'd be a 17.
No, she's making a fairly honest offer. Maybe a little bit more than what normally you'd be paid for.
Yes, absolutely. 10 sounds great.
Seems so like a skilled laborer gets maybe 3 gold a week.
Right.
But we're full artificers.
Great. So I guess familiarize yourself with the lab. I have to go through some paperwork, I guess, and
Do you have vents down here? I get claustrophobic. I just want to make sure there's air coming in from outside.
The person who sat in the engine room for
She
a
doesn't
week and a
know
half.
this. I'm trying to get a scope of the building.
Got it. That's actually brilliant.
He can crawl into vents out.
That is brilliant.
I can't wait until I can learn the
Vents?
reduce.
we have a grate to the main floor right over there. So after a bit of a tour,
I mean, if you want to put them on there, I did print windows.
there are no windows. It's completely under.
No, for the vents.
Have the windows flipped so they're vents.
Well, where are they?
And do the vents go through the whole building?
Yep, those are the windows. Because in our one shot, Russell had a window, and
Russell had a window.
yeah, he literally had a window, and I'm like, I kept asking where it was, and he's like, right here, right.
There is a
I had a
there's a vent in the
line
wall right
drawn.
there that she says goes to a grate on the
First floor?
Not on the first floor of the building, to the outside.
Okay.
What's it called? Street. Kind of looks like a storm drain.
Okay.
So she does get a little bit of leakage there on rainy days.
Oh, frick. That sucks.
There's a little groove ground out on the bottom to keep water out.
What we didn't
Of the
realize
main
is this is abandoned because it is the sewage system of the city.
And then she says there's one in her room. She does not take you into her room. She lives and sleeps in there.
All right.
That was a weird sound.
The other one is
Well,
right
I'm not
over
worried
here.
About that. Oh, that's a smaller one.
Yep.
How big is this one?
You could squeeze through it without your armor.
And then just put my armor
And
on
last
it.
one back here.
So I could definitely get in that one with my armor.
Yeah, but that'll
Yes.
take you to the main street.
Right.
Maybe the sewage system if you tried hard enough.
Do these go like up to the top of the building? Like does
You
the
have no
vents
idea.
go all the way? No, I'm asking her.
She has no idea.
I'm asking for air quality purposes.
No. Keep the air fresh. That's all I need.
Nice. I will
Now,
I do have a potion of climbing.
I will just be examining the bookshelf.
I will make a quick scan over the different alchemist regions and anything interesting.
alchemist regions, wide variety. The one with the rare ingredients is a bit more stocked, probably because they're not used as much. But
Yes.
practically, it's like having an apothecary store and at your fingertips. The only thing that you would improve on it is maybe adding a greenhouse somewhere so you can continuously grow and cultivate these ingredients.
And a volcano.
Makes sense.
In the volcano, yes, I need some more of that.
You wouldn't have to have a spare volcano, right?
So, Trick, if you're checking out those boxes and crates over there,
Yes.
mostly foodstuffs.
Foodstuffs. Okay.
Foodstuffs.
Ingredients, some of the barrels hold water.
Is this door locked?
No.
Can I go in there? Is there anything in there?
In there is a stone table, very cracked, very scorched.
That's it?
Mhm.
So she didn't keep any of the explosives in there.
No.
No, that's where the bad experiments go.
And here?
In there, door is locked.
Door's locked.
Right. If you need me, I'll be going.
22
I need to go upstairs
pickpocket.
to take care of this paperwork for you all.
Is there
And-
anything you'd like us to start working on?
Nothing really.
Do we need to follow you and guard you?
In her room.
Actually, one of you would be nice. Which one of you would like to do that?
I can do it.
Okay.
Sure, take the one with the higher perception. Great.
Well, what's his perception?
14.
No, I'm talking about to watch you.
Oh, why would you watch that?
This is where we need him to be snooping around.
That is true. That is very true.
You don't need to watch
Oh, and
And I'm the best guard.
That is true.
and
I don't have any damage.
stone board on the left, third from the bottom. You can't miss it. Press that. Go up.
Oh.
Come on. She pulls you into the elevator with her.
Joy.
As she clicks it, she clicks the stone.
We watch. She's
Huh?
The
joy.
roof above you slides open as the elevator lifts up.
Roll them.
Beat Red Ravak.
All right.
My hair
I got a
starts
natural
reflecting
17.
the red of my face. No.
28 to pick
Is that
that
what
one.
high elves
stoic.
do?
What?
Okay.
Does their hair change colors?
No.
Yeah, you still don't get in.
No. I just
Really?
have platinum
It's a tough lock.
blonde hair.
Oh.
Basically silver.
I will, Da 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 da. I will,
It's white.
Release
He's
the
white.
element. I'm just kidding.
I will
Release the
ritually.
elements.
And give him a command.
You know what? Not gonna ritual cast this.
You don't have the power to command an element.
I will,
Does this make a lot of noise when it goes up and down?
Steam.
Okay. So we would know. it's
Now all it's
something
not
like
really in there is like a pipe. Just and a bit of mechanical work that you can see.
you know what? I'm going to detect magic. I will drop a level. I will drop a spell for that. Detect magic and just.
Not even gonna ritual cast it?
Well, I don't know how long you're gonna be gone.
Right, so you check everywhere in the room with
So
this?
I'm just gonna walk all around the room.
Mhm.
I'm gonna check this vent.
all the extra walls put down in here, so not the outer walls, but these other rooms kind
Like
of put in.
those minor rooms.
Specifically, yes, the Orhalcum one, heavily enchanted to strengthen it up. Though with the Orhalcum one, it feels more natural than anything else.
Interesting.
So a lot of abjuration.
The couple of the reagents and swirling things in different bottles and containers of the
Yeah.
alchemist section. A couple of the chests
You should be looking.
and
see if
there
she
is
has-
there is a arcane lock spell on the
I figured as
key
much.
for the storeroom.
You should be looking.
Especially there's the seer stone, crystal ball that's giving off, and some of the loose pages and books are giving off a light enchantment school.
I will
Spell.
grab
I think it's enchantment. Would it be?
for the elemental summoning.
No, not elemental summoning. These are loose pages. You get some. You do get some from scrolls, anything from conjuration, a couple of evocation, and another interesting looking conjuration book. Okay, what?
I will grab the conjuration. I will. So there's just a bunch of scrolls and stuff.
Yep.
I'll just start skimming through for the next 10 minutes,
See if
just
she has a blueprint of the building. In her
seeing.
No, illusion school, coming from a couple of notebooks and loose papers.
I'll mostly look at any conjuration
Scrolls.
scrolls or notebooks.
There are a couple. There are three conjure minor elementals, one conjure elemental, and the interesting one you found is an edited teleport scroll.
And these are like actual magic scrolls.
Actual magic scrolls. Please note that if a wizard tries to copy these off, the spell scroll is used and destroyed.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yes.
If they try and copy it,
If you copy a spell from a spell scroll, the spell scroll is used.
what if you take a picture of it?
No, that's not how it works.
If cameras existed, then maybe.
Well, you've got the.
Interesting. Because I remember Mirth did that a couple times and it didn't use them. I don't know enough about spell scrolls. I've never made a caster. This is my first caster.
Oh, congratulations! Welcome to the world of
I
indecision.
know. So I have no idea. Never played a wizard. Never read anything about the wizards.
You played Paladin. They're a half caster.
It's not close enough.
That's not even close. They literally can't
Right.
do anything.
So that's what you guys find.
They can smite.
Okay, I'll just put everything back. And you said there was magic coming from the chest.
A couple of the chests, yeah.
Which ones?
The
Those ones?
one next to that one right there, and the smaller one by her room.
Before we
Do they open or are they locked?
Arcane locked spells.
That's what I figured.
Okay, so Revak, with you and Safviel. So, what'd you do before this?
There's a sailor. Are you planning on participating in the festival?
I did think about it, and with you people around, I might be able to cobble something together. But I've been focusing more on my elemental research.
I see.
I'm sorry, it's just working with Alphys's team has been kind of my dream for a long time.
What was that thing that exploded? Was that just some experiment?
Yeah, I was working with Ronlin for a little bit, and well, had an idea, and it worked. It kind of worked. But it didn't, and
Did it have something to do with elemental binding?
sort of. We were messing. He was looking around at some new mineral thing that he found in one of the mines, and I tried throwing a little bit of. I threw a little alchemical compound I knew that, and it reacted violently, and he's probably gonna yell at me about it again. And honestly, he can get so pretentious.
Interesting. Sounds like it would make quite a good bomb.
Well, yes, that's one thing we did learn, I guess.
I mean, if you had the little mineral and then a small vial attached to it, and then you just catapulted that.
Ah, yes, but we need more of our research funds going into the War Department. Anyway, it's just taking you outside the building to this. If you can hand me the map for a second. She's taking you out of the building
And
here
to
the center
the dinner theater.
to the dinner theater.
that.
Right. Offices.
Oh joy.
If you'll just, you can wait a bit while I'm working on this. Well, shall we?
I guess.
Takes you inside. People working in an office. Best way to describe it. Single floor building. People typing away. People writing away.
We don't have keyboards.
Couple sending messages through sending stones, taking reports here and there, moving in and out. Right, now I gotta get this paperwork. She starts the process. And you gotta watch the entire boring thing. Alright, you two.
Did you say you're so proud of them? How long have they been gone at this time?
At this point, we're gonna fast forward about half an hour later. So still waiting
I
on...
could have ritual cast.
Paperwork takes a while.
Apparently, I did not think that she was leaving the building.
So, you need to make sure that there's not one of those crystal balls somewhere that's watching this room.
This room?
Yes.
If you want, you can cast Identify on it.
I will ritually cast Identify.
Right. 10 minutes later, you touch it. It is a textbook crystal ball. Essentially, if I remember correctly,
kind of
a
like
rare
scry.
magic item can cast
Scry.
Scry.
I think. Yes.
Yep. Creates a small sensor, watches something. Basic spell.
Okay. So there's
That
no
is-
real way to know if there's one watching this room.
Not unless you have like true sight or something that blocks the information.
I did think about that.
Alright, anything else you guys want to do before they get back?
I want to see if I want to see if I can get inside the vent and if it goes up.
So, cracking your knuckles.
I'm like so distracted, and then I turn around. Hey, Trick.
Trick.
You hear from the vent.
Okay.
If everyone asks, I went to the bathroom. There's not one down there.
Okay.
Right, so you're going through that vent right next to it. Okay, so it's off the ground, it's near the top of the wall. So I'm assuming you just stack some things, and get up there. So suffice to say, you get up there, you squeeze your way into it as you crawl your way up, and you see a vent coming out from the first floor. In a room you haven't seen. But it seems to be like a small lab. Only one person in there writing something down.
Trick is the imposter.
I knew it.
Trick vented.
Oh dear, here we go.
Trick is so sus.
I watched him vent.
It's a closed vent. This vent does not open, so you could not escape through this point.
Okay.
But it does go higher up.
It does go higher up. So I'm gonna see if I can climb a little higher.
Okay. His way up. Second floor. Takes a turn. Doesn't go any higher up, but it's going somewhere in some direction.
I'm gonna follow it.
Out of all my planning, he has put it to shame in like 3 minutes.
And this is why I never bother coming up with a plan.
Holy crap.
Follow it around, a couple more grates, other labs. Nothing going up to the third floor, sadly. At least that you can find.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna come back
Bit
down.
tight. You cannot turn around, so you blindly squeeze yourself back.
That's right.
You did come to a four-way crossroads that you were not sure.
Be so
You did
nice.
come to sort of like a bit of a cross connection section that you were not quite sure if you could make it back out of if you went down it.
Okay.
So you turn around. You can't really turn around, but you start heading back.
Right.
But you can somewhat explore the building.
Okay. I'm gonna eventually try that one too. When I get down here, how long has passed?
Yeah, about half an hour.
Okay.
So you
So
start
that
getting
was what
over
was
there.
happening
It's
while-
behind the bookshelf, so you're starting to move the bookshelf around. You hear shh. The elevator's going off.
Enjoy. I'll pretend I'm rummaging
are
through the
correct.
bookshelf.
Down comes
It is
a little gnome. Little gnome,
You have a
fair-colored
gotta make a
skin,
DC Arcana check.
fiery
If you
red hair.
fail,
He's upset.
scroll burns up. If you
Okay.
succeed, you write it.
Safviel!
Where is she?
Where you will pipe?
We're her new assistants.
Well, really, how long?
45 minutes ago.
Right.
She went to do the paperwork. She took our friend Rob.
Tell her from Ronlin.
From
She is not allowed in my lab again.
Are you
Without-
wrong?
Yes.
Okay, from Bronwyn. She is not allowed in your lab again.
Without chaperoning, and if she ever does come in again, she's not allowed to touch, look at, think, or look at anything.
She's not
Without my
allowed to
say-so.
breathe in
Okay.
my lab.
From Bronwyn.
I'm going
Go
to be
to-
reporting her, and hopefully
What did she do?
she nearly set off a very hard to grab mineral in my
Don't
I
think
forgot the word lab,
in his lab.
and it's going to take another 10,000 gold to get another chunk that size.
What is the mineral?
I would guess all.
He's just leaving now. He's ignoring you. And he seems to be like mumbling to himself.
I will, pass it on.
See that you do.
It's this one.
I missed half of the message. I was writing stuff down. What I got was, tell her not to think in his lab.
Let me summarize. He don't want you to breathe in the lab.
Don't think, don't breathe in lab. Not allowed without a chaperone. Write that down. Not allowed without Mr. Piper.
Without Mr. Piper. He specifies himself. Apparently he liked me.
Oh boy, this is gonna go so poorly.
Good job, everybody. All right. She is about 10 minutes later. Right. Did I miss anything?
I have been, over the last 15-20 minutes, just making, like, a list of all of the regions and possible uses.
Right. So,
Or
did you guys
looking
familiarize
for-
yourself with the lab?
Hey. What?
No,
Yes,
where's
I
the
familiarized.
bathroom?
Yes,
Ah.
I have been looking very thoroughly.
You're gonna have to go up the elevator.
So, a very mad gnome.
Wait. Short, fiery red hair like a bomb stick.
Sure. Yes.
Look down his nose at you even though you're 3 feet taller than him.
4 feet, but
technically,
yes.
Half a foot shorter
That's
than me.
probably wrong. Miguel?
His message is as follows. Don't think in his lab. Don't breathe in his lab.
Don't look, don't touch, don't smell, don't spit.
Not allowed without Mr. Pipe in his lab.
I doubt he said Mr. Pipe.
Okay, without a chaperone.
Yeah, this is
He-
about the first. This is about the
I raised my hand. He said Mr. Pipe.
Yeah. About the 4th time he's had to say that to me
And,
this month.
something about reporting you.
Oh well, he makes that threat to everyone.
Well, he didn't make it to me, so I guess I'm on his good side.
No,
Well, you also didn't make a bomb in his lab.
It was
Not
an accident.
Yet.
Yeah.
But if we do, I have a faster way of getting rid of it.
So, this Ronland character, how high up is he on the chain?
Oh, he's one of the oldest ones here. Not as high as Althus. She got there really fast. Talented one she is. Ooh. But
Okay.
typically he oversees new recruits and managing everything. Doesn't do as much of his own experiments. Too busy handling everybody else.
Overseas recruits.
But do just nod. Whenever he's talking to you, just nod and smile, and try to not insult how pretentious he is. And do not mention his height at all.
Okay, I was about to ask.
Don't mention his height at all. I'm just like, is that supposed to be a short
What if
joke?
Trick compliments him on how tall he is?
You're so tall compared to me.
Trick may be able to butter him up that way.
Well, so
Maybe he'll show me his lab.
Only you're not allowed.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
We could end up with rare minerals.
ready? Let's get
Yes.
to work.
Yes, let's get to work.
You guys spend the rest of your day
Slaving.
doing nothing. Staring at a crystal ball, writing gibberish.
Trick, you get to look at the crystal ball for the rest of the day. Just
I get
wa-
to look
yeah,
at
you
the
gotta
crystal
you gotta
ball.
watch the elemental. It has not moved at all.
I'm just
Seeing
gonna.
the list pipe, she asked you to put together what comprehensive list of her regents again, cross-reference with what you think she might need, and some of the compounds you have. And you've been working on that most of the day.
Just gonna give her a bunch of false reports. Oh, it just did a backflip. You missed it, darn it.
Never seen 3 tons do a backflip. That was awesome.
You didn't feel the boom afterwards.
Saying after about
It cast
an hour,
earthquake by doing a
After
backflip.
about an hour saying that she needs a break, Revak, she sits you down at one of those 3 tables with some notes in front of her and some ramshackle bits of equipment and starts asking you about your eye. And she spent about the next 4 hours talking to you about
Jeez.
that.
Mr. Pipe will look back. And then reminisce of Garthmere. And go back to work.
And poking the occasional question at point, which she deflects with a simple yes, no, or grunt.
Neanderthal. Grunt powers.
No, Pipe, you had to stop Point a couple of times for breaking a vial or 2.
No, not that one.
Not bad.
That one would be bad.
You can hold this, a leaf.
So I've been over here this whole time,
Day.
Hand her a silver
right next to
thorn
this chest.
sword.
Is the chest locked?
Arcanely.
No.
I would have told you that all of the locks, if it is locked,
Just
Has
that,
magic
just
on
that one, the small chest by your room, and,
And
the
that
door
door.
to that.
So this one's not arcane.
Oh, it is locked. Not with
But-
arcane lock, but locked.
definitely locked.
Some
So
other
if
spell,
we need a
not
decoy,
sure.
Is the door even big enough for the elemental to fit through?
does it matter?
No.
It's an element.
It looks like a
No.
regular door. That's what I figured. I was like, that's a small door. That is a big elemental.
It's a smart idea.
Right? That's brilliant.
Just wait until it learns how to walk. It can walk through the wall.
That is only
In stone?
stone, and it can't be finished.
So this is technically finished.
Yeah.
Metal, yeah.
It can't walk through metal. It can only go through like natural
Raw stone.
rock.
Huh, so it can't actually go through like brick wall.
No. It can smash through brick
It,
walls.
it is a siege.
Engine.
No, it's called a
Siege machine.
Not a siege machine. It's called a
Siege monster.
siege monster.
Yeah.
So it does double damage to structures. So yes, it can walk through a brick wall,
What?
but not the way it should.
Wow.
It could.
That was nice for a diversion. Thank you so much, Rebecca. I think I can start making prototypes for replicas, probably not as advanced as yours. Where did you think it was again?
College. My professor helped me make it for my final project.
Oh, maybe you can give me the name of that college sometime. As for you all, you're free to go. Unless one of you wants to stay here.
Nope.
Why would you want to stay here?
We have accommodations.
Okay, good.
We'll be back in the morning.
See you tomorrow.
Will do. I will. We'll head out then. As soon as we get.
She waves you guys goodbye with a big smile and enters her room as you all leave.
So we walk out. You know what? I don't think that was a funeral. It might be your wedding, but definitely not my funeral. And I will just walk off.
A wedding?
Some labs are getting closed down. Not as many people as there was before. It's dark outside.
What time is it?
Actually, before we leave, I want to check out that explosive bunker. Is the door locked?
No, it's not.
Does it matter?
I will open it up.
Big, empty, heavily reinforced room. Recent scorch marks.
I will look for the most recent scorch
Most
marks.
recent ones are actually near the back of the room.
Okay. And then I will try
Targets
and
are set
gather
up.
some like residuum and some like dust so that I can try and like piece together the chemicals used to
Give me a wisdom check with your proficiency bonus added.
Oh boy.
But yeah, it's just a heavily reinforced room. Anything explosive.
Woohoo!
Near the
That will
end,
be a 20. Unnatural.
see, you can gather some samples, and you're pretty excited with what you've got. At the end of the room is targets.
Targets?
Targets.
Oh, targets.
Anything from like your classic circle, a couple person shaped, and a couple strange looking shapes near the roof. They're not really like stand up targets, they're more like some kind of mineral or something that's added to the wall.
Interesting.
I shall shoot at them.
Are you really?
From your guess, firing range.
Yes, while
So
you're
it's
collecting
like
dust.
fairly. So it's a big room.
Yep, enough to disperse explosions and
So
test fire
the
arms.
explosion is in one side, or like the explosion happened on the targets as well.
There's a couple of recent explosions on the floor. There's a couple scorch marks on targets.
Oh, okay.
One of the ones on the roof is half obliterated.
Alrighty.
Got
We'll
hit
make our
with
way back.
Something on it.
We'll make our way back.
Right. You make your way back to the breeze home. Della takes you up to your rooms.
On the way back, I'm gonna try and pickpocket another mission.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Ooh.
Still
But it's
with
still plus 11.
13.
13.
Okay.
I
As you go
almost
along-
saw that one.
I did.
As you just go along, you just, oh, this is too easy for me. You snatch something. What you have in your hands is a simple little necklace. Just a small necklace with a little kind of charm at the end of it. You got from some common-looking gnome walking through the city.
You should cast detect magic on this unit.
Didn't see nothing. I am just like looking at the vial as we walk, and every once in a while I'll make sure we're going the right direction, continue looking. But as soon as we get to the breeze home, straight up to the top, alchemy set.
Alright, you go to your alchemy
Just
set.
trying to figure out the different components, regions, minerals.
I'll get food.
You're getting food. Trick.
I'm gonna prowl the streets for a little bit. See if my old haunts, if my old little breezeways and stuff are still open. You know?
Oh dear. Okay.
So I got a little necklace, huh?
Little common necklace with some kind of charm on it.
It's cursed.
Heavily cursed.
How to stop a thief? Cursed items. Works every time.
Oh my gosh.
Have all of your items on the display table be cursed. And then when they buy something, you grab from underneath.
That is actually brilliant. I now want to be a merchant. That is my next character.
Who
Curse
specializes in curses.
Cursed.
So a little
objects.
necklace with just a little.
Just a simple necklace. Like a
Just refuses.
simple
He just
string
doesn't
and
attune
a
to
wooden
them.
charm.
Exactly.
Little trinket. Okay, Ravak, what are you doing?
Eating.
Yep, just eating. Getting food and feeding my parrot even though he doesn't need to eat.
You have a parrot?
Yes. He's got a familiar.
I'm familiar.
Two things before I start,
Yep.
like, pouring the dust and stuff in there. I will cast Detect Magic, and then as soon as I figure that out, I will do Detect Poison and Disease. Both ritually.
Okay. So detect magic. You're getting like tiny bits of residue from scorch marks on targets and the big scorch mark on the ground.
Oh no, this is just with the powder when
Okay.
we're up in the place. I'm just doing detect magic on the powder that I was able to get from the building.
So he didn't separate them from things on the target on the ground. He just had it all in one box.
So this is scorch mark powder?
Yeah, just scorch mark powder that looks like it was the most recent. Just scorch mark.
Not a lot of magic on it.
No magic? Okay.
Not tiny bits, but not a lot.
And then detect poison to see if there's any like tiny bits of matter that could have been poisonous at one point.
Oh yeah, all of it. It's heavily toxic to eat.
No, okay, never mind. That was dumb. I would have done that. That's
Don't
why I did a
eat
ritual.
explosive.
Well, yes,
not
let's just
eat
eat black powder. Let's see. what
Heavily
happens.
explosive. But then I will go through the chemical process of figuring out the different regions and identifying them.
Next. Most of them seem to have just been made from pure fire. Some fire, a couple seem to have like little bits of mineral added into them. Some of the dust you got has some kind of crystal-based powder left.
Any crystal I'm familiar with.
No.
I will take the crystal that I got from the cave and same process.
Compare it.
Compare.
Different.
Different? Oh yeah. Okay. Do I figure out anything about the crystal from the cave as I try to heat it up and break it down?
It's very resilient against temperature.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. You hit it with some heat, it heats itself up. You hit it with something cold, it cools itself down. It's very reactive.
I left some of that with my friend at the shop. He was going to give it to a guy that
Yeah, new
specifically
crystals.
works with that.
Okay.
That
That's
was
what I do.
bad.
Did you do
I
a
rolled
one
a
and a
natural 20 and a natural 1.
Yeah,
So,
that's all I got.
that's all you got. So,
That would
did
be the
all you
worst
guys
Oh.
disadvantage roll.
Open the fridge. Does the plant look like it's dying, or is it doing okay?
Seems to be doing okay.
Plant has its
Not that much different from when you first found it.
Okay. Okay, that's good.
You have
Closing
no
it.
idea if it's alive or dead.
Nope, no idea. It's just not dying. Okay.
I'm going to
We're
try
good.
and sell that trinket.
Okay. So you go to one of your old pawn shops. You've fenced stolen items to this guy before. He can give you about a couple copper for it. It's not that expensive.
That's fine.
You got 2 copper out of that. I hope you're happy.
Oh, absolutely. That's the most money I've had all game.
I hope you're happy that you took an engagement gift.
Well,
That poor merchant was probably going to make a gold piece off of it.
probably.
Yep. So you all heading off to bed?
Yep, going to bed.
I guess, yeah.
I literally did not learn
Hard
as
day
much
of
as
work
I
tomorrow.
hoped.
Full day of work tomorrow. And that's where we'll leave everything off for today.
We're ending today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy crap!
Yeah. So
It's
thank you
late.
so much for joining us. This was been ClockWork Session 6. A lot of interesting things happened today. It's
A
slow
lot
still.
of things learned, a lot of things not learned.
A lot of things learned that we didn't need to know.
A lot of
regret.
information gained. Some good, some bad, some useless.
A lot of useless.
Yeah. As usual, the music that you all heard today came from Adrian von Ziegler from YouTube and Artix Entertainment's game DragonFable. Big shout out to both of them. They're great musical composers. Other than that, stay safe and have a good weekend. See you next week.
Love you, bye!
Are we playing next week?
Hopefully.
I should be able to, yeah.
See you next week.
And
Adios, amigos.